Hi everybody, this is Anne. In a previous video, I showed you 5 different carving techniques to decorate your pottery. I had a lot of requests to post the pieces after I glazed and fired them. I thought you might be interested in watching how I glazed them too. Remember the low relief carved mug? Well, once the mug was bone dry and still in the greenware stage, I brushed black underglaze into all the little grooves and bisque fired it. Here, I'm watering down my black glaze and brushing that over the carved areas. Before the glaze has a chance to completely soak into the clay, I sponge off the wash from the raised areas. The glaze will be left in the crevices, leaving the raised areas white. I wanted the attention to be focused onto the carved area of the mug, so I decided to glaze the rest of the piece with my white satin glaze. This glaze is stiff so that it will not run over the black glaze when high fired. Next is one of the Basketweave carved mugs. Again, I decorated the bone-dry piece in the greenware stage with the baby blue underglaze and wiped it off the raised areas and then bisque fired it. Now I'm going to use a light blue glaze that matches the underglaze and water it down a bit. I'm going to brush that over top of the carved areas and into the crevices, just like I did with the last mug, and then sponge off the wash with a damp sponge when it's dry. Again, I brush the white satin glaze on the rest of the piece except for the very top where I'll add a little bit more blue glaze right around the rim. Next is the sunflower mug. I again added underglaze at the greenware stage, this time to the petals. I started with intense yellow and added touches of the flame orange over top, and then bisque fired it. Now I'm going to water down a little bit of my yellow glaze and wash that over the petals. I sponge off the excess so the glaze is left in the grooves. Sometimes the sponge is a little too bulky to get into the tight spots, so I use a damp wide flat brush for that job. In the section of the pot above the slip-trailed dots, I'm using a light green glaze which complements the yellow petals. I'll be using the satin white glaze on the rest of the mug. Now for the second Basketweave mug. To decorate this so the carved and applique areas are the focus, I'm brushing the light green glaze on the top 2/3 of the mug and in between the appliques. Then, with the white glaze, I glaze the bottom third, including the appliques and the recessed areas. Now on to the poppy mug. Once this was bisque fired, I decided it didn't need much else. I'm brushing the white satin glaze at the top, carefully applying it to the inside of the poppies that overlap the raw clay. I also am brushing the white onto the inside and the foot of the pot. Notice I'm using smaller brushes to make sure that I don't glaze over the illustrations. As a bonus, we also decided to glaze 2 of the pieces from the Decorating Pottery with a Spray Gun video, where we sprayed the underglaze at the greenware stage. We drew circles on top of the horizontal lines, then carefully brushed the yellow glaze on the raw clay. I brushed more of the yellow glaze on the rim. Finally, here's the mug we sprayed over perforated shelf liner. We added black slip trail dots with a little bit of clear glaze over top, and brushed white glaze on the inside handle, rim, and foot. Time to open the kiln! This video gave me some new insight into incorporating new ideas into my own work. Hopefully, it'll give you some ideas to experiment with and inspire you to get creative. If you like our videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the studio.